Hurricane Beryl just buzzsawing through the Atlantic as we move into Monday. And let me tell you something, this is a very powerful hurricane. Winds could exceed 150, a very strong storm. And you know, the forecast has it being a major hurricane moving just south of Puerto Rico, also the Dominican, and into Haiti. But Jamaica, that's a problem. And then where does it go after here? Because all eyes across the Gulf Coast down into Mexico need to keep an eye on this one. Now, let's go ahead and just kind of talk about what's going on. This storm is moving through an environment that is super favorable for rapid intensification. That's what we've seen. The waters are way above where they normally are. And we've been talking about this for months. And this is what happens when you get the atmospheric conditions lining up with a very warm ocean. You see this. Here's the spaghetti plots for Beryl. This is interesting. Again, look how tight they are, but once you get to about Jamaica, they really start to spread out. The members just giving all kinds of solution. But look where the mean is, bringing it across the Yucatan. And it will weaken if it moves across the Yucatan. And then it's going to move out into the Bay of Campeche. And what happens from there? Notice how the dot plots just kind of go all over. That's because there's so much inconsistency. I'm going to show you why in this video. And we're also watching another area still. I think that is the one to watch. East of Beryl here, that right here, that's the one that I don't want to say I'm concerned about, but I kind of am. This is, again, to the east of Beryl. The weather conditions across North America will be changing as we head into next week and the following week, and that could potentially move these storms a little further to the north. Beryl, though, this is what we're looking at, moving through the islands here, the Lesser Antilles, also parts of the Windward and Leeward Islands. That's going to be moving just south of Puerto Rico. High pressure across the east coast, really driving things off to the east. We've also got a pretty strong Azores high. This will start to weaken. Both of these highs will start to weaken. At the surface, we're going to look here first, then we're going to go upstairs and look at what's going on. But look what happens. Look at the pressures dropping across North America. Okay? Keep that in mind. Things don't want to move toward high pressure. These storms want to be drawn toward lower pressures, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. We've got a trough that's going to be digging in across North America and in the United States. What happens with Beryl? Yes, there's some question there. Does that go here? Does it go here? Does it meander? Does it die out here across the Yucatan and stall out and then just move into Mexico and just rain? Does it re-intensify into the Gulf? I think there are so many questions. And then again, here, this is that second system that I think needs watched, because now you've got those lower pressures across the East Coast. Does it draw it a little bit further north? Does it draw it into Florida? Does it put it into maybe the Southeast? I think there's just so many questions about that going forward. Now, when I talked about the weather pattern changing, look, there's Beryl, very ominous here across the south of Haiti and also across the southern part of Cuba. At least that's the forecast track. But look, here comes our trough digging in somewhat here across the Central Plains by Thursday and Friday. Now, what kind of influence will that have on Beryl? Well, this ridge here starting to weaken. That's what's been the driving force, continuing to push that off to the east. And then does it start to feel that tug of this trough? Does it pull it north just a little bit? Well, maybe so. That, I think, is the concern. And now by this point, now this particular run isn't picking up on anything right in here. That would be the next system. Now you've kind of got a trough swinging through here. And do you have a tropical system here that, again, could potentially be a southeast or at least a Gulf Coast system? Still a lot of time to get there on that one. That's what we're looking at on Beryl. Here's Invest 96L. This potentially will be our next system. And look, pretty tight clusters here, but look what happens. It kind of falls apart as you get out further in time. But look, this one may be something to keep an eye on again for the Gulf next week. A lot of time to get there. I'm going to be tracking it and following it. Either way, we've got a couple of areas that we're watching. This one here, 3, Tropical Depression 3, expected to move into Mexico, causing a lot of rain. We've got Beryl, which we've talked about, and then 2 out here. The second area, this would be 96L or AL 96 specifically, with a 70% chance. That's a high chance of development within the next 7 days. All right. If you like this kind of content, I hope you'll subscribe, and I hope you have a safe evening wherever you are.